What's up, everybody? We are live in the Lion's Den Tuesday night. I got the fellows with me. I got mom with me. We're going to talk about some stuff. You are watching Young Lion TV. Let's go.
Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, won't you get up and start fighting? Everywhere I look, they're hiding.
Yeah, I think it's good now. What's up, everybody? This is Young Lion TV. You're watching the Young Lion podcast, and we are in the Lion's Den. And yeah, we're happy to be here. I got the fellas with me. Of course, sitting next to me is, as always, the coolest Asian on the planet, the guy who's never going viral for being a gym creep. It's Mr. Simone Chang. Simone Chang, everybody. Simone Chang.
Not going viral for being a gym creep.
Hey,
Jamie's so funny.
there's a basis for that joke, but I'm trying to find. Oh, there we go. I'm trying to get the applause. But no. So that I'll get to that. But it's just funny how like the gym creep thing only works for dudes that aren't handsome. You know what I mean? Like when it's a guy that they want attention from, they don't care. You know? They want that guy to look at them.
Right.
You know, but.
Get away from me.
Yeah, but let's keep it going. On the other chair, we got my brother from another mother, Mr. Stan Golden.
What up?
He is the Black MacGyver, a.k.a. always packing, strapped right now. The only black guy with conceal and carry in New Jersey.
Join or
Stan Golden.
Was there a whoa?
Yeah. Yeah.
He sure is a black MacGyver.
Yeah. And probably they looked at the application and saw Stanley Golden and was like, oh yeah, he's not a threat.
Approved.
If your name was Stan Jenkins, that application might have got held up a little bit longer. And, we got my brother, of course, my big brother. He's everybody's big brother, but he's also the coach, Mr. Jacob Eugene Evans III. Yeah.
The preacher.
The preacher,
The-
the teacher,
The people reacher.
and the coach. He's also coach. He's coached to a lot of people, so he's coaching all them kids
Yeah.
and other kids. And then, of course, last but not least, we have the greatest producer in the world, our mother, Miss Angelique Lopez.
Hey.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we here, man. It's a pleasure to be here. Shout out to everybody who's in the chat watching right now. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit that like button and share this video. Also, don't forget to sign up and become a Young Lion. Sign up for the Patreon so you can Mom, you can pull this up, please, so that you can become a member of the Pride. Join in and give to the community, support what we're doing here, and also, there's a lot of benefits for those who become a part of it. We also have our merch store for the Young Lion TV merch store right here, boom, where you can get, all the cool stuff that we have, like this hoodie right here. We got this hoodie, we got this hat, we got mugs, we got all kind of stuff.
Courtney just got her mug.
Courtney got her mug?
Finally.
Sweet.
Which one is it? The one like that one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's an all black one too. But yeah, she got her hoodie too. I saw her post a picture of that. Shout out to Courtney. One of the biggest Young Lion supporters right there. And what else? Oh, we got new music coming out. We got to make this announcement. That is the cover right there for the song that we play at the beginning of every podcast. The actual song is coming out on April 7th, which is Stan's birthday.
Oh, nice.
And also my anniversary.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a good date. It's a good date to pick,
Yeah.
you know. So April 7th, release will come out. So make sure you guys, you know, lock that in. We're going to try to do pre-releases early. I was talking to Dave about that, setting up the pre-release so people can pre-order the song. Also, I'm trying to figure out a way. I think we can do it through Bandcamp where you set a thing where people can pay what they want for those that want to support Above and Beyond. And also like incentivize that with the live show that we're thinking about doing with the listening party at the studio in Jersey. So
That's a dope picture.
it is, man. I like the cover, man. It really, you know, speaks to me.
You should have had a clapping for that one.
Well, for the
For the release.
oh,
We can. Hey.
It's hard to see the words.
Yeah. On there.
that's the point, right?
Yeah.
You have
To not be able to see the words.
yeah.
You got to seek them.
Yeah, seek and you shall find the words.
That's why they're right by his eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. See, we got it.
In the
We got
It's
reasons.
coming together.
But also Jatan.com if you want music and merch. All of our other merch, our Jatan merch is on there. And our other previous music, you can get all that. You can see live performances, behind the scenes stuff, interviews, all that good stuff. And make sure you guys subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're on Rumble, follow us. If you're on Twitch, subscribe. If you're on Twitter, follow us, man. We appreciate y'all. We're trying to grow this thing and build this thing in 2023 and do things on another level. But other than that, anything else anybody want to announce, want to talk about?
Was that the claps? Is that a stock clap or is it from like a show?
No, it's a stock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got it in my
I know
little
you be
soundboard.
snatching stuff.
Yeah.
My joints,
No, I got
What you
that.
mean he be snatching stuff? You
From
tell-
our
you
stuff.
tell-
I do.
Oh,
I do. Yeah. Yeah.
From like a live show or
Yeah.
something, you know?
Yeah,
Clapping.
I will clip something quick. But no, that's a stock clap. But yeah, so everybody's weekend was good. I know you guys started your soccer.
Journey.
That wasn't a happy.
Again.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
Juggling it all. Because now I got 2
right.
on Sunday,
One on Saturday.
1 on Saturday.
Are you coaching all 3 teams?
No, not coaching my little one because I can't. It's impossible. Like this, the games were almost at the same time. Well, it was 1 hour difference, but I had to drive. You know, you got to be there a half hour. early.
Yeah. Yep.
So, and it was totally different area. So,
I had to deny them because they asked me to be assistant. I'm like, I can't do it. Practice Tuesday, Thursday. Can't do both days.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
the potential of us going away on weekends.
Right.
Like I can't.
Yeah, I practice Tuesday, Thursdays, but
You're
it's-
closer though.
yeah, I'm closer.
Yeah, your field is literally right next to your house.
Yeah, it's not too far. It's
Yeah.
like 5 minutes away.
I was like, yo, this is right next to Jake's house.
Yeah, which is
We
good for me.
played Pensauken.
Oh, okay.
Yo, why is there so much goose poop, yo, everywhere, bro? That field is like bombs all over.
Yikes.
Can't do nothing about that. Like, what do you do about that?
Yeah. And it's so open. It was windy as heck.
Yeah, it's a windy that area.
It,
It's always colder because it's near the river, so it's always colder there.
dude, it was so cold. Like, I went to the gym earlier today. I was wearing short sleeve. I called Noah because he was with his mom. I was like, yo, you don't need compression, because I packed his compression shirt and pants. I'm like, yo, you don't need it. It's beautiful out. Went out to the field. It was cold. I didn't bring a jacket. I was like,
Yeah,
now I know when I go to Pensauken.
yeah. I literally from my house, when I go outside, I know it's 10 degrees cooler
At the
At
field.
the field.
Yeah.
Always.
Wow. Yeah, man. So over the weekend, well, before we get to that, let's get back to what I was talking about, Mom, at the gym. So yesterday, after school, I, like usual, I pick up Aria from Osage right up the street, the elementary school up the street, and she wants to go to Chick-fil-A after school. So we go over there, and I get her stuff, and we're on our way back to the house, and I turn at the light. And I see a silhouette of a person in a car, and I'm like, yo, that looks
recognize
like
that
Moan.
car.
I'm like, that looks like Moan, and that's definitely his car. So
Did he have somebody in the car with him?
no.
Oh.
But
I thought you caught him.
so we're getting there.
Okay.
So I hit a U-turn because this is on Echelon Road. You know,
Okay.
right where the town center
Right,
stuff
right,
is.
right.
So I hit the U-turn right there, and I pull up next to him at the light, like, yo, what's up?
I was like, and literally, I was passing by the school because I knew, Ari went there.
Yeah.
I was looking for you too.
Yeah,
I was
he's
like,
please don't see me. Yeah, please don't see me.
no, I don't care. But yeah, I was meeting up with Sasha.
He was meeting up with Sasha.
At the gym
Yeah.
to work out.
Yeah. So he went
Wait,
all the
a gym
way
around here?
He went to Edge
Ed.
all the
I
way
go to
out
Edge.
here to work out with her.
Because I was going after work.
Who's Sasha?
Uh-oh.
My friend,
You must not have watched Freddie's podcast.
she tuned in
on
after.
Thursday.
Yeah, I tuned in after.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not getting into all that.
No, but I
We don't
did
have to.
hear them saying that she was putting messages for him, but I didn't know.
Yeah. So Sasha is Moan's friend that
Yeah,
was-
she's just a friend.
she was chiming in the whole time on Thursday, and it was funny. It ended up being very funny because it just became like the theme of the whole show. But it was just funny because I caught him going to meet up with her. Like, it just happened at that very moment
Right.
So
to
It was
pass him,
meant to be.
to cross paths with him at the light,
Right.
and then I pulled up next to him. Yeah. It was
Like,
funny.
yo, what you doing over here, man?
So he got caught.
I was like, there's no hiding anything in this group.
No, sir. Because he already know. He's lucky I couldn't drive and take out my phone because I would have filmed him.
I told him you should have filmed me.
Yeah, that would have been good content for Thursday.
Yeah. Show him pulling up.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Caught him in the act. Yeah.
You don't want to go to Edge though, dude. At that time, oh my goodness,
was it crazy?
I could not get on a machine.
Wow. Yeah, it's every
We
time.
pretty much stayed on the grass area the whole
Oh,
time.
wow.
And, like,
Where's it at over here?
right,
Panera
where
Bread.
Panera is. You know where the Gennardis used to be?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
that
smaller.
thing was
It's
vacant
smaller
for
than
a
our
while.
Edge.
Okay.
Yeah. So you don't think I should transfer to that one?
I mean, if you go in the morning, it might not be as bad, but I would not go at 4:30.
I definitely wouldn't go at that
Yeah,
time.
no, that's late.
Yeah.
Even because I've been to our gym like around 4:30. It's not as bad.
Oh, really?
I mean, like
It gets bad there at like 11, 10:30, 11 in the morning on the
Yeah.
weekends.
I want to
Yeah.
see a picture
It's
of Sasha.
packed.
of course you do.
Your mom is so nosy,
Of course you
boy.
do, huh? Of course you do.
Mom is so nosy.
You're so quiet about that, Simone.
What you mean?
Yeah.
He wasn't quiet about
not
it.
quiet about
he
it.
was quiet with me about it.
Well, they're just friends, Mom. It's all right.
Yeah, we're friends.
You know.
All right.
Goodness.
Funny.
So what's up? What else is up?
So
Daniel,
also,
I was gonna say Daniel Jones won $45 million.
for what?
40, yeah, about 40. He got a contract.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. 4 years?
Is it he got 40 millions? 40,
Yeah.
40 million.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Because
actually
he won
a
the
lot for him.
45, yeah. It averages out to like 40 something. And if he hits all his incentives, then it goes to 195. I think it was 160 for 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, Daniel Jones is the Giants
quarterback.
Quarterback. Yeah.
And he won a
Nana
big money.
believes that he don't. He
Yeah,
don't
Nana
deserve
hates
it.
him.
Yeah.
He had one good year.
Yeah.
1-1 playoff game.
So a couple other things happened over the weekend. So John Jones fought.
Yeah, came
That
back.
dude, you can't deny
Finally.
him.
Dude, 3 years.
You cannot
off,
deny that
Yeah.
guy, man.
Yeah.
3 years of not fighting. Goes up to a heavyweight.
Yeah.
And did y'all watch it?
I watched it.
I didn't watch it, but I heard
I fell asleep, but then I seen it.
Nana told
Okay.
me second round knockout, right?
Nah, dude.
First round?
Dude,
Oh,
choke.
my
2
goodness.
minutes into the fight.
What?
He choked him out.
Yeah. Standing up pretty much.
Standing up. Standing up. Yeah. It was a pretty epic domination on his
Yeah.
part.
I
But
like Cyril. What's his name? Cyril? I don't know how to say his name.
Cyril. Yeah, Cyril.
Cyril.
Kind of like the dude, he's from France, just like
Yeah.
the engineer from Drexel.
Oh,
Cyril.
yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a good way to remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't like him because he looks like Cory Booker.
Yo, that's the same. That's the same thing.
Let me see a picture.
Cause I watched it over with James and Ian was over there and he
Okay.
kept calling him Cory Booker. He does kind of look like
It
him.
reminds me of him too much.
I was like, if Cory
But he
Booker,
can't fight.
if Cory Booker was built like him, he might have kept Rosario a little longer.
That relationship is fake, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, the reason why I bring it up is because after the fight, he was talking to Joe Rogan, and one of the clips kind of went viral about, his whole response. So I want to play it real quick and just kind of talk about it.
First and foremost, you know what's coming. I got to give thanks to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Without him, I would have never made it this far. And I tell you what, for all you prayer warriors out there, I felt you so strongly all week. And I just want to thank each and every one of you who prayed for me. First and foremost.
Yeah. So he made it a point to say that, which I thought was dope, first of all.
pretty cool.
And to hear everyone cheer for Jesus was dope. And that to see like Joe Rogan like is constantly getting hit with Jesus all the time.
Yeah, right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
here's another one.
here's another, and talking about how prayer works, because remember, John Jones was going through a lot.
Yeah, he
He's
was.
been through
He's
some
been through a
stuff.
lot, man.
So like for him to be
What's
talking
he
about,
been through? Because I don't know anything.
I mean, he's had multiple situations
Drug
where he's
stuff.
drugs,
Cocaine, yeah.
tested positive for
Yes.
cocaine.
That's
like,
why he lost.
Lost his belt.
lost his
Yeah.
belt. That's why he went away for so long.
Yeah.
Had issues with domestic violence, like got into an abusive situation with someone. Like, didn't he assault some lady or
think
something like that?
so.
I don't know if it was domestic, but someone accused him of assault. He had to go to court for that. Like a bunch of stuff, issues with his family, stuff like that.
It's over the years.
Yeah. But he has he's always had Philippians 4:13 tattooed on his chest. And he's always talked about, thank Jesus or whatever. But
That's interesting.
yeah, he just the fact that he came in there, it was such a, like, everyone was watching. He dominated, so no one expected him to dominate that much. Like,
Yeah.
dude,
Especially coming back
Yeah.
from such a long hiatus.
it was like the fight was over like this. It was the quickest fight of the whole card, like the
Yeah.
whole night.
Yeah.
And then he gave honor to Jesus for the whole thing, which I thought was dope.
That
So
was cool.
Yeah.
And then to hear him cheer too.
yeah, hear people cheer for that. Then he threw the meme in there. Jesus Christ,
Jesus Christ. That's
I
that.
love you, God.
Isn't that guy?
Yeah, that's
Their
that.
break
that,
dances.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
He's so
Yeah, that
God.
Mexican dude, right?
Yeah,
That is.
yeah,
course.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so Philippians 14, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Yeah.
And that's interesting because I was actually going on a Holy Spirit inspired journey today, like searching through the scriptures, and I was coming across like just the phrase "the faith," and if you look at it, like everywhere where you see that, it's all about being strengthened. Like where it talks about be strengthened in the faith.
Yeah.
Depart those who depart the faith.
Yeah.
Because the faith is what God did for us. So when you say the faith, you're talking about what Jesus did. It's not about you. It's about it's the faith. It's the trust is as we trust in him.
Right.
That's the faith, right? So learning how to trust in him is how we're strengthened. You can't get strengthened if you don't trust in him.
Yeah, because even that you hear get hijacked when like the term the faith starts to become like just the idea of Christianity.
Right.
It's called the faith. You know what I
Right.
mean?
But it's more than that. It's actually learning how to lay down your trust in yourself and trust him. And you see, it always talks about like people departing the faith.
Yeah.
And there will be people who come and depart the faith. You know, they saw the great falling away, all that stuff, because people will love themselves, be lovers of themselves. That's trusting in yourself. Why does it say the? It's because it's evil. Why does it say the love of money is the root of all evil? Because it's about trust. Because I go after money so that I can get security. It's about trusting myself.
So I put my trust in the money to make me feel safe.
Right. So I go out and work for that. So loving money is actually, it's not about loving money per se with loving the idea that the money can give you security. So you love money because you think that's going to give you security. See, you have to love God. If you love God, you'll trust God. You know what I'm saying? That's the connection. So if you love money, you'll put your faith in money.
Right.
That's why it's rooted in evil, because you're really just it's about loving yourself.
Yeah.
Before you love God, it's about trusting yourself. And then if you trust yourself, then you become the judge and the reasoner of your life. So now you see everything by the way you see it, and you're going to reason everything out by the way, any way you see it, and you become the God and the judge of your life.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, congratulations to John Jones. He pretty much solidified himself as like the best ever in the UFC. I mean, that's the other thing is he's kind of been the one that has made the UFC what it was as far as like popularity and just like the name recognition that it has now. You know, of course, there's been other huge names, Anderson Silva, you know, Chuck Liddell, all these people, but John Jones was the one that kind of really blew like he was the one that kind of made it. Everyone wanted to watch this guy. Yeah. And now they got Israel, a couple other people. But for him to come back 3 years off, go up in a weight class, and then dominate that way, you know, it was pretty amazing.
And do it in a way where he put his trust in God.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had all these issues, and he realized he needed something outside. He couldn't do it himself.
Yep.
That's what it's all about, man. Dying to you trying to fix all your problems yourself.
Yep.
You thinking that your success is dependent on these things, and you get there, and then you realize you still got your problems when you're there. You know what I mean? All that stuff. It's like it becomes empty. It's still empty. You're still hurt inside. You still got your problems from when you was a 6-year-old kid, 4-year-old kid. You know what I mean? Those things don't go away.
Right.
You just try to cover them. You feel like when you get to a certain level, you'll be all right. Nah, none of it changes.
And speaking of that, we got another great example over the weekend. Something else happened where Chris Rock dropped his special on Netflix. Did you anybody watch this?
I didn't watch it.
Nobody watched any of this?
I watched some of it.
Yeah. So he, of course, at the very end of it, he waited to the end, of course, to talk about
Address the whole Will Smith
yeah,
thing.
it was his first time addressing that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Well, he's been doing it on tour, of course, but first time like publicly, everyone sees it where he addressed that, which I thought was interesting because I watched the whole stand-up. Me and Liz watched it, and he was pushing back against woke culture a lot in the stand-up, which was interesting.
That's good.
To see like another. So of course, like there was a lot of stuff where he's still kind of, you know, talking about the same talking points that a lot of people do because he's still a celebrity. He's still a leftist. You know what I mean?
Talking about race.
Talking about race, talking about stuff like that.
Republicans lie.
Yeah, he said that.
They do.
He said, yeah, they do. But it's funny because he said Republicans lie and Democrats. What did he say?
Democrats don't tell the whole story.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lie.
It's still
right.
lying.
You're just
Right.
covering it up.
So you're doing what you're saying they do because you're not telling the whole story.
Yeah.
But it was funny because he talked about Meghan Markle, which I didn't expect. He made fun of like her, and he made fun of victim culture. Used her as an example, like wanting to pretend you're a victim, like you didn't know what the royal family was, what you were signing yourself up for.
Right.
He said she won the light skin lottery and want to complain.
They were, that part was funny. Like
Yeah.
he was comparing it to. It's not really racist. It's you're dealing with in-law issues.
Right. And he said, I mean, I don't want to spoil it for y'all, but you know, he made a joke about because she was complaining about they wanted to know how brown the baby was gonna be, and he was like, yeah, even black people want to know how brown the baby's gonna be. He was like, we be checking behind the ears. we want to know, is it gonna be light skin or
Is it going to be Steph Curry or is it going to be Draymond Green?
He was like, that's science. Talk about checking behind the
Yeah, that
ears.
was funny.
That's the tell, yeah.
But when he addressed the Will and Jada thing, it's funny because a lot of what you're saying, you can see all of that in that response where it's just like you reach a level of success, a certain status, but all of the issues and trauma and stuff that you deal with, whether it's Will or him, came out in that moment and caused this ripple effect. Hold on, I think I got a small little clip of it that we can show. Oh yeah, this is funny. Someone made a meme out of it, of course.
We all been cheated on. Everybody in here been cheated on. None of us have ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us on television. None of us.
Started a friendship with August, and we became good friends. We actually became really good friends. We actually became really, really good friends.
3 hours later.
We actually became really, 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 really cray.
Yeah. But yeah, so he kind of
Feel bad laughing at him.
I know, but that's kind of
Man.
because that was the thing that I respected about what he was saying. He was like, I'm not a victim. You know what I mean? He said she hurt him worse than he could ever have hurt me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because of how what she did to him, you know, which is a lot of what we were saying when all of this went down. But it was interesting to see his response to all of that. And of course, there's people, you know, going in on the internet, especially like a lot of these sister girl. You know, this video, I came across this chick who just...
People have wished death upon me, okay? Because they don't like my opinion. Okay. Oh, well, too bad, so sad. But I will say that this one comment takes the cake out of all... Hundreds of people showed up to prove my exact fucking point. So where's the lie? What absolutely fucking blows my mind is that somebody actually hunted down my husband, tagged my husband in my post, my comment, and said, bro, you need to come get your wife. You need to check her. She got you out here looking like Will Smith, and she's definitely cheating on you. Bitch, what? What in the actual...
Because her whole thing was Chris Rock is wrong for talking about Jada because he made fun of the fact that she slept with her son's friend, and she was like, you know... Black women are always attacked for their sexual agency. That's what he said. The world hates black women with sexual agency. That was her take.
What does that even mean?
You making up stuff.
That means
Sexual
black
agency.
women want to be able to be whores and get away with it. And we don't want to hear you criticize that at all.
That means I'm going to say it in a way where it sounds good that I can receive it and be okay with doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Because this is all this is about. I mean, you've seen what Jada, the acrobatics that she did to make it sound good.
The entanglement,
Yeah.
entanglement thing, yeah.
This is what we deal with. It's the narcissism that causes us to be in denial of our sin.
Yeah.
You know, or just like recognizing like, okay, I'm wrong. You know, it's a simple thing. Like,
It's hard for people to be accountable for the things they do wrong.
Yeah.
You know.
but when you have weak men, and I'm not saying that to slight Will.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like women can break you down in a way where
Well, I think she probably views him as that. Like she definitely doesn't respect
she
she don't.
him as a leader. You know what I mean?
but they do it at the same time. Like women want to dominate, and I'm not saying all women, so that's not. I'm just saying like that they want to dominate because it's about their security, but then they look at you, they don't respect you.
Yeah.
Because you're not taking up the role that you need to take up.
Mhm.
So it's like a twofold thing. Like they want the power because that's actually their control and it makes them feel secure.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time,
When they get the
can't
power,
respect you.
they don't respect you anymore. Yeah. Shout out to Emma and Courtney, both chimed in the chat. 2 of the Young Lion Patreon members and family. We appreciate y'all. Shout out. And make sure you guys hit the like button and share the video. Thanks. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Jake. And I think like this girl's reaction, and I saw like in the comments, there's a lot of people agreeing with her.
Yeah.
You know,
Would they happen to be black?
mostly, yes.
We
Or-
put up a
Go ahead.
video,
That's a shame.
and I saw a comment today.
Or feminist.
We put up a video about, you know, you have to, and you knew it was going to trigger people.
Yeah.
You have to praise your husband. Wives have to praise their husbands almost like they praise God.
Yeah.
And that triggered people.
Yeah.
Like, and I saw somebody say, well, men need to love. Why? Yeah, like, obviously.
Yeah.
We're not, that doesn't negate the other.
Why do you need that in order for you to do what God
Yeah.
said?
Right.
You still, it's a command.
That's out of order though.
Yeah. You just got to do it.
Yeah.
It's not like, no, they don't deserve it. Once they deserve it, I'll do
Then
it.
I'll do it.
That's not
Right.
how it works.
And I think a lot of times that's where women shoot themselves in the foot with relationships and with men, because I hear that a lot in like the red pill space where women are like, well, I can be feminine for the right man who requires, you know, who brings my femininity out. And it's like, no guy is going to want to break through your wall of masculinity to get to your feminine shell. You know,
Yeah. Or I'll submit to the right man. all
yeah,
this
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But you don't even know what the right man is.
Right.
You don't know how to pick a right man. Like a lot of these people, they got kids by all kinds of men because they don't know how to pick the right man. And that should show you right there. Like, all right, maybe I need to humble myself. What?
No, Donnie just chimed in. Shout out to Donnie. Donnie just joined the chat. He said, Don is here, a true Young Lions fan, not fan. Fan/not fan when talking about my boy Joe. The fact that that's your boy still, bro, is a problem. Like, the dude, come on, man.
We know you don't mean that.
You cannot mean that.
You can be safe.
Let's get back to it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Donnie.
Yeah.
No, but I think we men need to take up their role. But the reason why we talk about the women is because men are the ones that are being attacked.
Yeah.
Men are the ones who are dealing with it. And there's a lot of men that need to grow up.
Yeah.
We need to grow up.
Yeah.
You know, and we need to hold each other accountable.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I was talking to Mom about situations today that she do it and man, and just like amazed at like people in their 50s, like they just need to grow up.
Yeah.
Like they don't get it. And I'm talking about men who say they're Christians.
Christian, yeah.
You know, and then they twist.
She was telling me them stories you were telling me, Mom. It's like crazy.
Yeah. And then how
this
people just
this one is even crazier.
how people twist the Bible for their own desire.
Do you want to share the story?
don't know.
Nah.
No.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I can share on the side.
Oh. Why you gonna out someone?
No, they're not gonna watch this.
So then, what's the
Nah.
problem? Okay.
Okay. Jake
Yeah,
said no.
keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, men definitely need to grow up and take up their role, which is why we're trying to do this to show
Yeah.
men who are willing to hold each other accountable. You know what I mean? Because we all know this is why, like, and I think sometimes the women don't understand, like, us holding each other accountable is out of respect for each other and out of love for each other. It's not out of tearing each other down, because when they try to join in on that, it starts to become a little bit more of a bashing session. You know what I mean?
Right. It's not of the same spirit.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, this is what we need more of. This is what I think people need to see. People need to see men who talk honestly with each other, candidly, but also hold each other accountable, keep each other out of trouble.
And also go deep, able to like go deep, because people have issues. We
Yeah.
have problems. If we can't really talk about these things, if we can't go deep with one another, I mean, how do you really lift people up? Like, Mom was talking about a Kurt Franklin song today. What were the lyrics
It was
about falling together?
when we now I can't remember. When we
What's it?
fall down.
We fall.
We fall down, but we get up.
Yeah, and I was
that's not him.
That's Donnie McClurkin.
yeah, no, it was something like that. We all fall together.
Yeah, we all fall together.
And I was like listening in my car. I'm like, I'm not gonna fall with you, because he was like, when we fall down, we fall together. No,
Yeah, I remember that song. Yeah.
and it's true. You don't fall together.
Yeah.
You go down to where they are
Right.
to
Yeah.
raise them up. We
Raise
ra-
them up,
We
yeah.
raise up.
We
together.
bring them back up. Yeah.
And that's what we have to be accountable to one another in that way, to
Yeah.
love and mercy, to be faithful to one another. You know what I mean? I think that's one of the biggest problems. It's just understanding faithfulness.
Yeah.
And men have to take that role. Faithfulness is about trust.
Yeah.
And when you're faithful, you stand in the truth.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't want to hear the truth.
They don't.
So when you the reaction of a person that's living the way they want to live, trusting in themselves, they're not gonna, when they hear the truth, it's gonna set you off, because you're not used to hearing the truth.
Right.
Because the truth comes from, you got to trust God. Well, when you've been programmed into trusting yourself because you've been hurt so much, it's hard to then turn and trust God. So it takes time for people to.
Yeah, you got to relinquish that control, or those walls that you've built up for so long, all those defense mechanisms, to let that down, let your guard down in that way. It's hard for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And the thing is, just to put it this way, not to speak all about what happened with that guy, when you're caught and you're told about what's going on and you don't want to hear it, then the person that's telling you that has a Jezebel spirit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well, you're
That's all.
telling your
No,
story.
I didn't tell the whole thing.
But you're right. But the funny part is, you're the actual one
Yeah.
living in that way,
Right.
because
yeah.
you're publicizing something so that you can bring attention somewhere else, to make yourself feel comfortable, to stay in your desires that actually aren't good desires.
Yeah.
You did tell me about that, though, Mom.
No.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. I just told Jake the first time it happened.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So then
It was something else.
You told me something that was along the same lines. You were
No.
telling me and Liz over here.
Yeah, but no, that wasn't. This is something totally.
Oh, okay.
different, Yeah.
Oh.
Shout out to Courtney. She said it should always be out of love. Yeah, and that's the hard part. A lot of times people speak to each other out of frustration.
Yeah. Speak
Right.
the truth in love.
Yeah.
Even like what it says, Ephesians 4 talks about, like, we grow up, raising up the body. It talks about in the faith. Again, the faith, right?
Yeah.
Because we're being strengthened in the faith. All the ministry, the outreach of the apostolic, the apostle, prophet, evangelist, teacher, pastor, or shepherd role, they're all the grace of God and the faithfulness of God, so that you can know the love of God to bring peace in your life.
Sorry, I keep these comments be making me laugh. Shaniqua commented on YouTube. She said, "I want to see too, Angie." Laugh out.
Because they nosy.
Sasha, women are so nosy.
Nosy.
Funny.
Yeah, but so we.
I
The
was
whole
gonna say
point.
Jake's giving some truth here.
The whole point of the faith and growing in the faith is growing in the faithfulness of God, the love of God. Mercy is the steadfast love of God. It's actually the mercy is chesed in the Hebrew, and it's you can call it steadfast love. You can call it mercy, but it's really about covenantal love. It's about, like it says, his mercies endure forever. His mercies are new every morning. They always come for you. You don't deserve his love. He gives it. He gives it. He sends people to give it to you. He sends people to know he's thinking about you. He sends people to know he pays attention to you. That's why people get words of knowledge, words of wisdom, right? Prophetic words, because they're all ways to show you that God loves you and God sees you, because it speaks to your deep, right? It speaks to the depths in you. Like, how many times when you get a word, it hits you deep, right? From God, it hits you to your depths because it speaks to your depths. That's what it's about. But for somebody to do that, you have to be compassionate. You have to be working in the love of God. You have to be working in that mercy. If you have no mercy, how can you speak to somebody in that way? You know what I mean? If you're just judging people, like if you're just saying, well, they did this, this, and this, you know, and you're just seeing them in that way, well, then that's prejudice, right? You can't see past those things that they did. Oh, well, they did this to me, so they're evil. Don't talk to them. You know, there's no mercy for them from you, so you can never do anything for their lives. But if you can see them the way God sees them, that's faithfulness. You know what I'm saying? That's you're extending how God is trustworthy, and you become an example of that trust. And so then people start to put down their guard. You know what I mean? They start to let down. All their defenses are pointed back to them. All their defenses are to keep them, are because I only trust myself. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you put that down, you're becoming vulnerable to the love of God. So he keeps coming after us, coming after us, coming after us, coming after us. That's the goodness of God that leads to repentance, a changing of your mind. And I think that's what we have to focus on. That's why, like when we talk about women and these things, we're saying it in a way where that this feminism thing, this identity crisis that's going on in this country, the identity of men, right? It's becoming even more feminine, right? It causes you to trust yourself. It causes you to not be vulnerable. It causes you to put up a bunch of walls, right? And then reason things in yourself, blame people.
Yeah.
You're always pointing the finger.
Well, that's where you get an Andrew Tate. That's where you get a whole Kevin Samuels, the Red Pill movement, this whole manosphere thing. That's why you get such a huge rise in that, because it's literally the backlash of
It's the finger pointed back at you.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, you start getting that. But the problem is everybody, it's just a blame game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because you see trashing the other side.
Right.
That's what I don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the new podcast that's popular now. Like
Which one?
Where he just has a whole bunch of young
Oh,
girls on
whatever,
there.
the whatever.
But it's just like the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same.
It's the same
it's
format.
The same format.
It's the manosphere for white people.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
What's it called?
It's called whatever.
It's the
Literally
fresh and
called-
fit.
Yeah, it's the fresh and fit for
they'll
white
have-
people.
No disrespect. I hate disrespecting people, but they'll have like the titziest girls on there and just
and dismantle everything.
Dismantle
that they think,
everything.
because they're because let's face it, like girls at that age, 19, 20, 21-year-old girls, like they're pretty much they're at the peak of their like sexual value. So that's pretty much their focus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all of the other things that you want to bring up, the topics that they're going to discuss, they're only going to speak on it like surface level, things that they've heard. None of them have done like real research. So
Yeah.
it's easy. It's like Ben Shapiro going into college
Colleges
campuses
and dismantling.
and destroying everyone. You know what I mean?
Dismantles
Right.
leftists.
Obliterates. It's like it's not a fair fight.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's interesting because even Ben Shapiro, like, I was listening to him talk about like Jesus and like trying to talk about how it's, you know, his perspective from a Jewish perspective.
He said Jesus was a guy who led a rebellion against Rome and died for his what was the word he used? For his troubles or something like that. It was killed for his troubles.
Yeah. Which is, he can only say that when he has no pushback. But he got some pushback. It was a conversation where he was getting some pushback. And
who was he talking to?
I don't remember the guy's name. I don't know his name. But just his argument and how he was saying, talking about the resurrection, because the guy was basically saying, like, look, there's so much in terms of history, you can't deny the literacy and the things that are written down about this. And but they're later on, but that doesn't change like, just because it's later never changed the fact. Like, that's what people will say. Well, these were written later on. But then it goes, and he was talking about the resurrection, and he's like, but just because he was resurrected, how does that make a claim that he's God when Lazarus was resurrected, right? It's like, but the difference is Jesus claimed that he was God. Lazarus didn't.
Right.
Lazarus was resurrected by Jesus.
Yeah.
But Jesus was resurrected by God.
Yeah.
And he was resurrected to glorify him because of all the things he said. That's where, if it's true, everything he said was backed up by God because he was resurrected. You know what I mean? That's and like, really, it's you can't argue that when you look at it and say, well, based off of the literature, you know, and these claims, but when they see Messiah as something totally different.
Yeah.
You know, but again, those things come from it's later than Jesus. It's the way, like, even the rabbinical, we were talking about this. Well,
you
I
sent that
something.
video. That video was deep.
Good.
Yeah.
Like, watching how that whole rabbinical Judaism trend happened as like basically a counter to what Paul was doing.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. And then the guy who, Akiva, the Rabbi Akiva, this is the guy who basically led them into this new rabbinical tradition.
Yeah.
He actually hated Jewish people.
Yeah.
He was a Gentile. Right? So he actually didn't like Jewish people, but he became a Pharisee.
Right.
So you got a Gentile becoming a Pharisee and then leading them into some other stuff.
To a whole nother way of
Right. But then you got
believing.
Paul, who was a Pharisee. That became
a follower
of Jesus, and then goes to the Gentiles.
Yeah.
So it's like, literally, it's
the inversion.
It's the inversion of it.
Yeah.
You know, but one comes after the other, right? The inversion comes after the other, right? And that's what you always see that with what God does. The enemy always tries to do, or the devil who always tries to do an inversion.
Yeah.
To throw people off.
Yeah, man.
I don't even know what we were talking about.
I don't remember.
That was good though.
We were talking about, it went from the Jada Pinkett thing to women to date, because we were talking
Manosphere.
about like how that woman's reaction and the vitriol for men in it. You know what I mean? It's just feminism, all of that. So yeah, it all ties in. It all makes sense.
It all makes sense somehow.
So let me get to this other clip. This is where Donnie's gonna leave us.
What But don't
Well-
leave us because we got some good stuff.
No, it's really not. It's really not. It's not about Joe Biden. It's well, I don't know how much he watches MSNBC, but so Russell Brand was on Bill Maher. Did you guys anybody see this?
Yeah.
I've seen the clip of this.
Okay.
Yeah, I
so
heard it
so he was on Bill Maher and basically just like totally dismantles this MSNBC host
Dismantled.
in the most Russell Brand,
He's so-
sweet
yeah.
British way, hippie. That's
Isn't he? I watched pretty much the whole
Interview?
thing. He's quick, yo.
Yeah.
Like I feel like his brain is like moving faster than he can even.
The funny thing is, I've been
Communicates
watching him on YouTube for a while, and watching him and this
Change.
happens all the time, dude. Because I started watching Tim Pool after he was on Joe Rogan talking to Jack Dorsey and what's her name?
That's the
Vijaya.
But yeah.
The lawyer.
Yeah. That was the first time I ever heard of him. And then I was like, oh, let me check out this dude's content. And when I first saw him, he was like super lefty, hated Trump, hated Republicans. You know, she still hates Republicans. But just watching him, the blinders get pulled off to a lot of the stuff that he thought was just normal. And then watching Russell Brand kind of is going through
Same
that
thing,
same thing.
yeah.
Bill Maher too, but like in a slower way. He
Yeah.
still kind of like dug his heels in. But yeah, Russell Brand was always like socialist, communist, like
Yeah.
super hippie. Everything is about love, and you know, and now he's talking about the establishment, talking about the elites, talking about all this other stuff. And I think COVID kind of had a big part to play in that. But let's play this clip.
John, I've not known you long, but I love you already. But I have to say that it's disingenuous to claim that the biases that are exhibited on Fox News are any different from the biases exhibited on MSNBC. It's difficult to suggest that these corporations operate as anything other than mouthpieces for their affiliate owners in BlackRock and Vanguard. And unless we start to...
I mean, that's nothing but facts right there.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't admit that Fox News is the mirror opposite of MSNBC,
Yeah.
you know, and even some could argue that it's MSNBC is worse because when you look at the ratings, Tim Pool did actually a video on this where you bring up the rating on like NewsGuard, which is like that's the Microsoft backed news fact checker system. MSNBC has a worse rating than Fox as far as like credibility, the way they do their headlines, the things they've been wrong about, the things they lie about, you know. So, you know, it's interesting, but of course he's gonna totally deny all of this.
Embrace. And also, mate, like just spiritually, if I may use that word in your great country, we have to take responsibility for our own perspective. I've been on that MSNBC, mate. It was propagandist nutcrackery on there. When I said Good Morning Joe, it was absurd the way they carried on.
Morning, Joe. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It wasn't morning. There was no one called Joe there. No one could concentrate. They didn't understand the basic tenets of journalism.
He's a talented guy.
He's funny.
He's
yo.
a talented guy.
No one was willing to stick up for genuine American heroes like Edward Snowden. No one was willing to talk about Julian Assange and what he's suffered trying to bring real journalism to the American people. And I think to sit within the castle of MSNBC throwing rocks at Fox News is ludicrous.
My friend,
Make MSNBC better. Make MSNBC great again.
My friend, I would love.
Yo, he hit him
He
with
ain't like
the-
that.
He's hot,
definitely
yo.
didn't like that.
He's hot.
He definitely didn't like that.
Who is this guy?
He's I don't watch
He's
MSNBC.
on. Yeah, he's on
Oh,
MSNBC.
he's on MSNBC.
He's on there. He's a host of one of the shows.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But I guess he was like doing this whole rant about, of course, this is all they do, about how Fox is the devil. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right.
I would. The moment.
Fight them on a territory you can win on, Joe.
Russell, darling. The moment that you give me a specific example, an actual example.
Okay, I'll give you one.
Wait, just wait.
Wait,
Wait. Just
Look, he's like, I can give you 20.
He keeps on cutting them off too,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when he's ready to
Yeah.
give examples.
Yep.
All you need is a specific specific example.
How about a specific? Let me tell you what the specific I'd like to hear of. I'd like to hear a specific example, a provable specific example of an MSNBC correspondent or anchor being on television saying something they knew was false, and we're saying behind the scenes to people, I'm about to go out and...
How are you supposed to know that they knew that it was false?
Exactly.
Anyone can say they didn't know it was false.
If it's false and you and it's obvious to anybody and you're saying it, come on.
But you can make the same argument. Like, he could easily say, well, tell me one instance of someone on Fox who's deliberately saying something they know is false. Anyone could say,
yeah,
I'm just reporting what I was told.
Right.
Anyone can say that.
Right. Anybody can say that. But you know the truth.
Right.
And if we know it, if people know it who barely watch stuff, like, come on, man. Like, this is where we have the problem.
Yeah.
And this is the disingenuous stuff that goes on where nobody wants to be held accountable because they say, "Oh, I just read it," but you're a reporter,
right?
But you're
supposed to be
not really a reporter.
They know
integrity.
Yeah.
If a normal guy like me know that ivermectin is not a
horse
dewormer, and it's
and that's one of the examples that he gives.
Yeah.
But the thing is, see, they can say that, and then they can come at you because it is.
It is technically.
It does.
Also,
right.
it is that also.
But also,
right,
Advil is also used on animals. Also,
Yeah.
Right.
But and that's where it's disingenuous, and this is the problem because truth falls to the ground.
Yeah.
You don't. It's not about Fox. It's not about MSNBC. It's about the blatant lies. Hold them accountable.
Yeah.
And that's what he's doing.
Yep.
Like, come on, guys. Stop it.
Because he hates Russell Brand doesn't like Fox either.
Yeah.
He's been ragging on Fox for years, but he's also bringing up the fact that you can't talk about Fox if you're not willing
both
to fix
of y'all playing the game
yourself.
Yeah.
And of course he's denying it. So let's see when Russell gives him the examples.
We know that the election wasn't stolen,
You've
or something
illustrated this
equivalent.
example.
But I will go.
I
But I will
understand
go
what
out.
you're
But I will go out on television and say the opposite. I will lie.
When's my answer?
Just give me the specific example.
I understand the basic point.
Give me a specific example.
So snarky.
I'm with you. I think it's a false equivalency, Russell.
It's a
No, it's not. That's your own biases.
It's a false claim.
And there goes Bill Maher.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Pulling his old ways.
Yep.
It's not about bias. It's a false equivalency because you don't actually know anything about any of these organizations you're talking about. Even on MSNBC once, big fucking deal.
My darling, it was more than enough.
You don't have a single actual fact.
Do you want an example? Do you want an example?
Yes.
The ludicrous, outrageous criticisms of Joe Rogan around ivermectin, deliberately referring to it as a horse medicine when they know it's an effective medicine.
Yeah, that's not a bad.
It doesn't matter if it's non-responsive. You literally tried to say that he took horse dewormer.
What does he mean by non-responsive for?
I think he's saying that.
I don't know.
I think he's saying that ivermectin hasn't been proven to be responsive for COVID because it's still like they're saying that there's no evidence that it actually even works.
Okay.
That's still up for debate. But his
that-
point
but-
his
but
point
his
is
point-
about y'all saying that Joe Rogan took horse dewormer.
Yeah.
You took
horse
it somewhere
medicine.
else.
Yeah, horse paste
Yeah.
is what they really.
If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But
You're trying to
you're trying to
discredit
make
a person
yeah.
because of what he attached himself to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't like what he attached himself to.
Yeah.
Because you want to push the vaccines down.
Even though Joe Rogan, was prescribed that by his
By
doctors.
his doctor. Yeah.
Joe Rogan has money
Yeah.
and he has resources. He has, people that's like, all right, let's try this.
Right.
Like he's not just gonna take it just to take it.
Yeah.
Michael Maddow turning up on the TV saying if you take this vaccine, you're not going to get it. When it
Yeah, that did happen. One of their own anchors, the biggest show that they had at the time.
So did our president.
But I'm saying we're talking about MSNBC in context of this argument. Like she got up there and said, literally, if you take this, you will not get sick.
hadn't been clinically trialed for transmission.
Non-responsive.
You have to listen.
Wait.
Do you think you can improve
response.
America
I
by
think we could all
determinedly
be
and
better.
avowedly
No, he really is saying that those aren't responses. That's what he's saying because he said the same thing for the Rachel Maddow thing. He doesn't want to hear it. He's just blocking it out.
I mean, Fox News.
You know what it is?
You don't want to hear anything.
You know what it is? he knows that when he goes back to work, he's going to have to answer for this interview. So he has to just blindly defend his organization because that's his cushy job.
But again, what does that make you?
Yes.
It makes you a slave.
The love of money is the root of all evil.
And he looks.
The love of money is the root of evil. You can't serve two masters.
Yep.
You're going to serve one or the other, right?
Yep.
You're going to give yourself over to that. Why? So you can have security. So you can have all the things that make you feel like you got it all together.
Yeah.
Right? You got it all. You got all your eggs in a basket. You got all your, what's the other one?
Ducks in a row.
Ducks in a row. Yeah. You got all these things together. You feel like in your mind, you've set it all up. Right? These are the things. That's idolatry. That's idolatry. Those are the things that need to come down. And people, like, they don't know. Like, a lot of these people don't know. But for Christians, they want to act like it's okay.
Yeah.
And they don't see it. Come on, guys. You got to start seeing these things.
Yeah.
Because you can't just say, no, you're reading too much into this. Oh, you're being too... No, it's idolatry. It's idolatry.
Yeah.
But when they're telling you, you should listen.
Yeah.
Believe them when
Believe
they say
them when they say it.
Presumption is as iniquity and idolatry, right? Presumption. So when you start to presume things, when you start to presume something is what, and you don't know it is that, and you start to act in that way, it's false. It's a false image. And we're meant, going back to what we said earlier, we're meant to be believers that submit ourselves to the image of Christ. Right? God, what does he desire? He desires the knowledge of God and not burnt offerings. Burnt offerings are connected to what's sweet and savory to God. What is a sweet aroma? A burnt offering or an offering made by fire is the same word for wife. Again, I was telling Jamie this earlier.
Yeah.
It's the same word for wife. So when we submit ourselves to the Lord, it's the same thing as now we're coming into the knowledge of God. The knowledge of God is now seeing the image of God, because it's about imagination. The image of God is the imagination, our thoughts. So now we're starting to see who we are because we're seeing who he is, right? We submit ourselves. Why? Because a woman is supposed to be one with her husband. Right? So God loves us. We submit and we start to become one. And this is what Christians need to learn. We already think we got God figured out. He becomes too familiar with us. We start to bring a false idol into our minds. That's presumption. We start to think it's something that it's not. And then we're wondering why nothing's working in our lives. You know what I mean? And then we're wondering why we can watch people like MSNBC with these people, because it tickles our ears.
Yeah.
Because it makes us feel safe.
Yeah.
It makes us feel comfortable. Because all the while, what are they promoting? What are they reporting? They're saying, do this and you'll be fine. False image. Do this and you'll be secure. False image. It's idolatry. It's a false image. Your security as a believer has to be totally and completely in Jesus. And we've been watching these things and watching people and literally like, all right, what do we got to do? We got to take this vaccine?
Yeah.
Okay, take some vaccine. I'm not getting on people who did it. What I'm saying is that because there's grace, we're all children and we don't know things. So I'm not saying like you're horrible if you did these things. What I'm saying is that there's a time where we got to grow up, right? The love verse in 1 Corinthians 13 says, when I was a child, I did as a child, right? That's all talking about love.
Yeah.
But then there's a time where you got to start putting away childish things. I have to submit to the love of Christ that surpasses all knowledge. All right, I'm done my rant. But this is what believers got to stop listening to this crap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Non-responsive.
Yeah. I mean, we get the gist. That was pretty much the whole clip. Yeah. But yeah, speaking of, did you guys hear about that email leak from Fauci that got out that showed that he basically orchestrated the scientists to write the letter that discredited the other methods of treating COVID. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they had originally they said that
I can't.
natural immunity was, or no, it looked like that somebody had messed with the.
Yeah, they were talking. Yeah, it was about the
was
lab
that
leak.
email, right?
It was about
Yeah,
the lab
lab
leak
leak,
emails. That's what it was.
And then the scientists came out with that paper saying or explaining how
Explaining it to
looks
him.
like it's manipulated,
Right.
And this is what it. Yeah, explaining it to Fauci, and then he said that he colluded pretty much to get them to retract that.
Yeah,
and
then
give them
both of
what-
those scientists that wrote that both
Yeah.
got $9 million.
Yes, they got grants after they
recanted their testimony, their analysis that it looked
like a lab leak.
bioengineered. Yeah.
Money.
$9 million
Love
a
of
piece.
money.
Yeah.
Love of money.
Love of money.
Yeah.
For the love of money.
Yeah. This other clip. Shout
Is
out
that
to
OJ's?
the OJ's. Money, 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 money.
No.
Gambling Huff.
Is it money, money?
Yeah, that's the
Thought
same.
it was for-
It's the same song.
Oh yeah, that's the love of money is the
Yeah.
the verses part.
No, that's
People
the
will not know you.
that's the hook. The money, 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 money is only in the intro.
Oh,
The hook is for the
okay.
love of money.
Okay.
Know your TSOP.
Come on, man.
Hey man, I haven't heard that song in so long.
So this other clip from Jimmy Kimmel, where he seems a little bit nervous about something.
Oh, the list.
Yeah.
The list.
He was throwing a little shot at Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers made a statement on a podcast. I'll play this clip real quick.
Needless to say, all this UFO talk has the tinfoil hatters going wild, including Green Bay whackpacker Aaron Rodgers, who offered this hot take on the Pat McAfee show.
I believe that this has been going on for a long time. Interesting timing on everything. There's a lot of other things going on.
So just for context, they were talking about on the podcast about all of these UFO sightings, which is a real thing. Like all of these pilots coming out with these saying that they're seeing these UFOs.
Right.
You know, we've been hearing about the weather balloons. We've been hearing about all these UFO sightings. So he's bringing up the fact that he thinks it's like a distraction, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll play it from there.
World. Did you hear about the Epstein client list about to be released too?
What's that? What are you talking about?
There's some files that have some names on it that might be getting released pretty soon.
Oh.
Might be time to revisit that concussion protocol, Aaron.
Is this really the new?
Wait a minute. Why?
Why?
We all know that there's a client list. We all know that Epstein did not kill himself. We all know that he was arrested for working with high-powered people.
We all know in this room.
I mean, this is not conspiracy theory. This is real.
But a lot of people still don't know.
But I'm saying like it's not a wacko tinfoil hat conspiracy theory to say that Epstein had a client list. We know this from the court documents, but they don't want to release it.
But they gotta put that out there, dude. They gotta deflect.
That's what I'm. But who wants to take an over and under on how many times he's on that flight log? Jimmy himself, and he's trying to deflect.
Yeah.
He's trying to discredit it. You know what I mean? Whackpacker. What does that even mean? Yeah.
Well, Aaron Rodgers is labeled a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah. Oh, because he didn't want to take the vaccine. Yep. Yeah. No, but I thought that was funny that he went that far to like totally try to smear Aaron Rodgers for something that is we all know really happened. Like,
yeah. He's been better off not even saying anything about it.
Right? He should just stay quiet.
Yeah.
But someone did release something that I don't know how true it is, where they were saying it was a leak of the client list, and there was a ton of celebrities on it, like almost everyone you can think of.
Yeah, I saw that.
You saw it?
Yeah.
I saw something about a woman who's coming out. She said I don't know how true this is, but one of the victims or somebody who was involved, he said she has people taped or I don't know, videotaped or just recorded voice wise.
Oh yeah,
of certain people.
Yeah,
with children.
Wow.
Yikes.
Yeah, I don't know how. I saw it the other day. I don't know how true it is, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Did your mom show it to you on one of our sites that she's always on?
No,
she did not.
And Jamie, did you see? Mostly, a lot of the celebrities were on there. I didn't see Jennifer Lopez on there.
What?
Mom was looking.
Why
for
were you looking for her?
Because I was thinking maybe her too.
Name.
No, it wasn't even good.
She's Puerto Rican from New York.
No, because I saw Ben Affleck in there.
Yeah, but
I didn't see her.
Oh, because they were together.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I saw Ben Affleck on there. A lot of people. Bill Gates was on there multiple times.
Yeah.
So all his little we had some dinners and that's it.
Yeah.
You know he was on there.
Left you.
Yeah, I mean we know his wife said that she left him because of his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah. But
he makes himself look guilty
but another
when he
thing
says.
Is,
no, when he says Epstein, he's dead, right?
Yeah,
you seen that?
Yeah, I saw that.
He's dead. Like,
Yeah,
you're
well,
making yourself look.
Well, she asked him, "Do you regret, having that many meetings with him, even after you knew?" Because he had those meetings after he was convicted.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Well, he's dead, so." That was basically his response.
I will say that just because people are on the flight log, it doesn't mean.
Right.
That they knew that they were getting what they were getting themselves
That's true.
into. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's true. But I also think that it is a great way to compromise a bunch of people that are the voice boxes for the mainstream narrative. Because you get a Jimmy Kimmel who's gonna do everything he can to downplay this every night on TV. You get all of these people who are gonna just want to dismiss it, not want to talk about it in mainstream news and in politics because they're all implicated in some way, even if it's just the fact that they were there. You know what I mean? Because I know Jim Carrey is suing someone who posted a video of the someone made a YouTube video of what was the leaked list or whatever, and Jim Carrey's on there, and he deleted his Twitter, and he talked about he's suing anybody who mentions him being on the flight log, and because it's a detriment to his career, all this stuff. So they know that even being associated with that hurts them. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I mean, I thought that was a little overkill, though. Jim Carrey, deleted his whole Twitter.
Yeah, why would you do that if you're not guilty?
Yeah,
of something?
It's weird, bro. It's weird stuff. Weird.
He
times.
seems a little out there, though.
Yeah. He has definitely went down a rabbit hole.
Wasn't he on Scientology side for a little bit?
I don't know about Scientology, but he was into some weird mysticism, New Age, yeah. Because I remember him on that red carpet talking about we're all just particles, man. We're all just we're all just one. It's not. There's no you. There's no me. We're not even here right now. Like that whole type thing. Yeah, but speaking of conspiracies, so the January 6th insurrection
that nobody's been charged with insurrection.
Yeah, but one of the people that did a lot of time and was charged for 2 years, was it? The face of the insurrection, if you will.
The QAnon.
Yeah,
the
QAnon shaman.
Yeah. So apparently, Kevin McCarthy released 44,000 hours, was it?
Yeah.
Or 44,000 hours or something like that. Some astronomical amount of footage to Tucker Carlson. And
something that, another House of Representatives could have done.
They never would. They would have never. They would have never.
To clear up some of the things that happened on January 6th.
They had the committee for this.
Yes.
There's a reason why they didn't want to show any of this footage in the committee meetings.
Yes.
But anyway,
political gain.
So he basically showed a clip of this on his show. I'm trying to find the part.
Dangerous conspiracy.
I'm going to try to find the part where you can kind of see what's really going on. But pretty much you get the gist from watching the footage that so there he goes right there. What's his name? His name's Jacob, right?
Yes.
His name Jacob Chowsey or something?
Yeah. Something along that.
They framed the guy as being dangerous.
Yeah, being dangerous.
The leader.
Was that the guy with the horns?
Yes.
He went viral.
He was the face.
He was the face of the
it.
insurrection.
Okay.
He was in Pelosi's office. They were saying he was dangerous.
And CNN and
was the
MSNBC,
leader.
they were calling them the QAnon
shaman. Yeah.
And
but it turns out when you see the footage that they released, the surveillance footage, he was being escorted around the building by Capitol Police the whole time. They were opening up doors for him and showing him around the building. And even to the point where afterwards he did like a prayer where he thanked God for the Capitol Police officers for their help. You know what I mean? Like they were literally
the whole picture.
Oh nope, that door's locked. Let's go this way.
The whole picture of them like painting him as this dangerous guy, like there's cops all around him. They're armed.
Remember, they're
all armed.
He's
Look
dangerous.
at how free he's
He's
walking.
carrying a flag around by himself, and he's just like walking around the hallways.
And they even
they're escorting him.
Right, and they turn like there's some videos of them like he's behind them. If he's so dangerous, you
would never turn
as
your
an
back to
officer
him.
turning your back on somebody who's dangerous is a no-go.
Yeah. So this is the part right here. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for taking the inspiration needed to these police officers to allow us into the building. This is when he was like doing like a prayer in the middle of like totally
It was all a lie.
totally lied about what was going on. Well, I mean, we already knew this.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's painted
it's
painted as a conspiracy.
Yeah. I thought they were in there just acting stupid. But
Yeah.
Even that is a lie.
Well, that's why a lot of people were saying they let us in. Like a lot of people were like, there was other footage that he showed where they were forcing people in the building.
Yeah.
Like they were pushing people in.
And there was videos of like some of these people were respectful. Like they honored the building. They were in there like fixing stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, like they were like taking tours of the Capitol building, not destroying it.
Yeah. And they still didn't show any video of that guy breaking any doors down or anything like that.
I mean, I think he
like
said
granted there were idiots, you know, that did some stuff, and it was what they played over and over and over again.
Do we even know? Like a lot of those people turned out to be agitators.
Right.
A lot of them turned out to be feds. A lot of them turned out to be, you know.
They still don't know who planted the pipe bombs.
Still don't know who planted the pipe bombs.
Like
we still have no word on what's his name? Ray Epps.
Donnie said no one is being. Come on, no one was being respectful. That's a push. I mean,
this dude is being 100. Show me what he's doing that's disrespectful. He's walking around, being escorted around.
The face of this, you know, whole insurrection. This is the leader.
He did a prayer where he thanked God for their help.
He was painted as the leader, as the guy that was, you know, heading this whole thing.
Yeah.
You gotta see that. Yeah, there was definitely stuff that went on that people did, but you gotta see that it wasn't what they made it out to be. It wasn't what they pushed
this whole
it to
insurrection
be.
narrative is that's the push.
Yeah,
because they want everyone to be divided in a way where it's like this was the worst thing that ever happened since the Civil War.
They tried to take over the government.
They tried to take over the government.
They were trying to tie it back so Trump couldn't run.
Exactly.
Donnie, you gotta be real, bro. Like there was
gotta be objective.
Yeah, they didn't have any weapons. Come on, I know what a real insurrection is from Cambodia.
Yeah.
When you take over, you need weapons, you need tanks, you need guns.
And
none of that happened
You need
January
a plan
6th.
of what you're going to do after you take over.
I wish James was here because he could speak on that. It happened in Trinidad in the 90s.
Yeah, that's
you know
right.
what I mean?
The Muslim guy, right?
Yeah. He took over the whole government.
And you look like, did you see, like in some of them pictures, there's so many cops
dude
around.
They're
I mean,
just
some of those videos, and they all got guns.
Yeah. They're opening up doors for them, you know, turning their back on these insurrectionists.
Yeah. And I think that there was even part of the video where dude says like, "Oh, I don't want to mess nothing up. Like, I want to respect the building." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and granted, you like. To me, it was just they were dumb.
They were dumb.
They
for
got
doing
caught
it.
up emotionally.
I will say, because there was a bunch of old ladies that were like, they forced us in here. We didn't want to come in.
Right.
You know, which it's sad for them because even they got arrested. You know, and a lot of old ladies did time for this, and they were like, they just ended up in there because which you know, maybe they should have never even went to the Capitol to begin with. But they were all listening to Ray Epps. He was telling them, "We're gonna go."
And there's nothing wrong with going. There's nothing wrong with going down there.
Yeah,
and then even once you get down there, if someone's escorting you in that's in a trusted uniform,
come on, bro.
You're not going to question like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe I shouldn't be here.
If they open the doors for
Yeah.
you. I mean,
And
I remember the one video. This was going around on Twitter before any of this, where the
Right.
police officers opened the door and they were like, "You know, we don't agree with it, but we respect your right to do it," and they
Right.
let them in the building.
Right.
There's the other surveillance footage of the dude who had to open the locked door from the inside because it's a magnetic door. You know, so it's just it's sad to me when I see. First of all, it was sad to me when I saw all these people fell for the trap because it was an obvious trap. There's another viral video of police officers on the outside.
Listen, these are the same people that told you that coronavirus came from a Wuhan bat thing, and it didn't
a wet
come
market,
a wet market,
yeah.
and it didn't come from the Wuhan coronavirus facility.
Yeah, right,
Like where
right.
they're doing experimental stuff.
That's right across the street from the wet market.
And then they tell you that's fantasy.
Right.
This is the stuff that we deal with, guys, and we've been.
They still didn't
talking
admit
about,
it on that show that Russell Brand was on.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. We've been talking about MSNBC.
Still.
We talking about CNN. Like we're talking about all these things. They didn't want to admit it. We saw it's plain. It's obvious. It was obvious back then. We saw it,
It's obvious.
but it's not about being right. Like being right don't change anybody's life. But we gotta recognize when
we're being fooled, we're being
fooled.
lied to.
I can't see
Let me-
Donnie's.
Let me show y'all this video because I saw this too. This is from Capitol Police outside the building. Now listen to what this officer says.
They set us the fuck up. That's what they did.
Oh yeah.
They set up 64. Oh, absolutely. And then they asked y'all to come 2 hours later. They set us up. They needed everybody right away. Nah, right away. They set us the fuck up. So now we ain't got shit. We ain't got no motherfucking shit. They set us the fuck up.
So why is he so pissed? Why is he so pissed? Because they purposely only put a few of them out there knowing that all these people were going to be coming. They purposely did that.
And they had intel before.
They had intel. They were off. Trump offered to bring the National Guard in.
Right.
They
denied that.
They were supposed to request way more Capitol Police officers out there.
Pelosi was the one that
Denied
canceled.
it.
She canceled it. And then was running around the building with her daughter filming the documentary,
was gonna say,
talking
that's what
about,
she's doing.
you know, I wish I could just punch
Come on,
him in
Donnie,
the
what
face.
you got to say,
I can't-
Donnie?
I can't wait to you know, like she's over there pretending.
Jamie's good at those impersonations, boy.
Because you hear him talk
That's
so
what she
much.
sound like, dude.
All you
He
gotta
sound
do-
like Bill Gates. He sound like Pelosi.
All you gotta do is pretend your teeth is falling out.
They're not nice.
There's so much evidence and proof, and people just don't want to wake up.
And why wouldn't they want to show you what happened?
Exactly.
Like you gotta know.
Why were they holding this footage? Why didn't they want to release it to the public? Why there's
they
44,000
gave you- bro,
hours
that's
of
pure.
footage.
They're evil, man.
It-
to
it's-
have innocent people locked up.
Locked
you know,
up.
that dude has been locked up.
That
man.
dude was in solitary, yo.
Yeah.
What?
Solitary
By him,
confinement.
yo, just
And they knew he was innocent because they had that footage.
But again,
evil.
you put yourself in positions you shouldn't be putting yourself in.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's
That's the
emotional
other side of
too.
it.
Like
That's the other
you're-
side of it.
you doing stuff out of emotion. They're putting people left, right, like they're putting us against each other.
Yeah.
Don't fall for it.
Like
on
to
either
me, it was like,
side.
okay, if you wanted to go to support Trump and go to that rally and then go home, that's fine.
Yeah.
But all of y'all that thought you was gonna go to the Capitol and protest and do, you know what it is? Because this is the whole setup. You watched for 2 years as people on the left got away with whatever they wanted to do.
Right.
Not only got away with it, they're burning buildings down. They're taking over police buildings. They're setting up autonomous zones in the middle of cities, and they're getting bailed out of
There's
jail.
fundraiser by our vice president.
By our politicians are bailing them out of jail. They're setting up GoFundMe's to get these people out of jail,
Yeah.
and they're not being prosecuted by the the George Soros funded prosecutors that are in all these cities. So you see all that happening for 2 years, and you're like, well, if they can do it, then we can. Wrong.
No.
You're
Wrong.
seeing how not just that. You're seeing how the election went.
Yeah.
You're seeing all the corruption.
Right.
And then they're telling you nothing's going on. You're seeing all these things, and
But
then,
that's the trap.
exactly.
That's the
Dude,
trap.
the trap.
Even now, the didn't they have like a drone thing where they showed the in Atlanta with the Antifa? They have pipe, they have bombs, they have bricks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's,
it's
federal building.
And all of the news articles called them agitators.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, a couple agitators and they were actually going in on the police officers.
Yeah.
For arresting the people that were shooting mortars at this police station.
Way worse than what these people.
And this just happened 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Recently.
You're talking about the one that.
But it doesn't.
It's like
matter.
it's like a herd of them.
Yeah.
But
That
it
attacked
doesn't
that.
matter because
You can't try
this
to
ain't a world where you think you can get away. Just because you can't, that's childish.
Yeah.
It's childish to be like,
they get away
they
with it,
did
so
it.
why
Yeah,
can't we?
It's childish.
Yeah, Donnie said, right, that's the point. Regardless of no one forced them to go down there. Yeah, that's true.
You're right.
They fell for it.
You're right.
They fell for it. But it still doesn't. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say even that it still don't make it right. That okay, yeah, they went down there to even just to stand there and yell.
Yeah.
So what?
Right.
You're free to do that. You're allowed to.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't be get caught up, or be.
You shouldn't be
forced.
arrested for just being there and then be made to spend years in prison without proper trial, without you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you could say
A
the same
proper
thing
trial, yeah.
during all the BLM riots. If all those people that were looting were all getting rounded up and locked up,
Right.
you could say no one forced them to go down there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there is a sense of injustice to it as well for the way these people were treated.
Yeah.
There is. But I say like, that's where you have to, somebody's got to be like, all right, let's humble ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Because it just becomes it's pointing the finger.
Mhm.
Like, no, that's wrong. It's right to do this.
It's
or
their
it's wrong
fault.
to
It's
do
their
that.
fault. Yeah.
When it's like, no.
You can take it down, Mom.
True righteousness is what? When you practice righteousness, you're practicing mercy.
Mm-hmm.
When people don't deserve it. Literally, you don't deserve it. So when we point the finger, yeah, but they did it, they deserved to, and those people deserve. Okay. Well, then when something happens to you, you're gonna get the same thing. Because how many times we do stuff and we deserve it, but we don't. In our eyes, we don't deserve it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that guy really does not deserve to be in jail for 2 years. That's sad.
Yeah.
Solitary.
But we live in a world that it's corrupt. Okay, you see the corruption that happened way before that. And you think, so now even if they orchestrated, obviously we know that there was Antifa that came in.
Mhm.
We know that people came in.
And federal agents.
Not just Antifa, even Black Lives Matters people
Yeah.
who came in to look like Trump supporters
Yeah.
to get people, and federal. So you see this orchestration. It's corruption.
Mm-hmm.
You see how people are. You see what Nancy Pelosi did, right?
Mhm.
Her own little documentary.
Yeah.
Like you see what they're doing. we see it now. But what I'm saying is that
we saw it then.
No. What I'm saying is that the people who went in and like you didn't think about these things, like
because you were so emotional.
If they're corrupt now, they're going to be corrupt. They're going to twist. Are we going to give them fuel for the fire?
That's exactly
Are we going
what
to
you
give
did.
them something?
Because they took that day, and what they do, that was the spark to ban Trump off of all social media. That was the spark to ban all of these things. You couldn't talk about this. You couldn't talk about that because of that day.
Yeah.
Misinformation. All of these social media things that we're dealing with now stem from that day.
Yeah. It's just like when people say, like, black people in cities, you know, you want to talk about Black Lives Matters, but look at what's going on with black on black crime.
Yeah.
Statistics. Look at the statistics with black people, like black people in the inner city. When you look at that, it's like, well, you're getting what you deserve, type thing, or you're getting what.
Isn't that what the Joker said at the end of the movie?
Huh?
Isn't that what the Joker said at the end of the movie?
I don't know.
You never watched Joker?
I don't remember. I don't think I really watched it. I think it was like a passing by type watching it. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
what did he say?
Because Joker is I mean, I thought it was a great movie, Joaquin Phoenix,
okay.
And it's kind of similar in realm to what we're talking about because basically, you know, there's a bunch of Antifa types that start following him because he becomes like the leader of this type of movement.
Mm-hmm.
So when he goes on that late night show and he's telling that final joke, and he's like, "What do you get when you take a person and blah 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 blah?" And he says, "You get what you effing deserve," and that's when he shoots the dude.
Oh wow! So that's the way the devil deals with you, right? But God doesn't want that for us. You know what I mean? Like people are not statistics,
right?
You got to look past the statistics, and when we can just there's a problem with black on black. There's obviously a problem,
right?
But the solution is not to be like
you get what you deserve.
You get no. The solution is humbling ourselves. That's my point.
Yeah.
We got to humble ourselves. Who's gonna sacrifice? I desire mercy.
Yeah.
Not sacrifice.
Right.
Right. So that means that true sacrifice is mercy. You get what I'm saying? True sacrifice is steadfast love, is faithfulness. So that means you're going to go to places where people don't deserve you because they don't like you.
Yeah.
Because they don't want your help. And you're going to go in and humble yourself to people. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, this is the stuff we're not doing. We're pointing the finger. We're falling into these traps.
Yeah.
And you're seeing it over and over again. Well, they're dumb. They shouldn't have. Yeah, you're right. But let's humble ourselves, right? Let's humble ourselves.
That brings that scripture, Jake. Micah 6:8. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly before the Lord.
Yeah.
He's telling you, and what does the Lord require of you?
Yep.
You know, but
You
people
can't.
don't want to do that. They want to do what they want in their
It's
because of
impossible.
their self emotions, because of what they feel they need to do. But then you got to say, wait a minute, what does God want me to do?
Yeah, but that means you
know?
got to deny yourself.
Deny yourself.
Donnie said, was he in Nancy's office with his feet on her desk, or was that someone else?
That was him, I think.
No, it wasn't. It was
was
someone
somebody
else.
else.
Is this guy right here? Pull it up, Mom.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
such a threat. You know, he was really going to take over the government with that boot on Nancy's desk.
He's doing so much damage.
I mean, it's disrespectful.
It is disrespectful.
Yeah, it is.
But
It's disrespectful, but should it?
is it more disrespectful than firebombing the church across the street, or
Right. I mean,
taking over?
But how was he
federal
let into
building?
the building?
Right.
We don't know any of
Right.
this. Like, so,
Right.
and then he's taking it upon himself to do things that
Yeah.
are disrespectful.
Right.
But again, like, we can analyze this
Yeah.
stuff and we can pick it all apart,
Mm-hmm.
or we can just have grace for people, right?
Yeah, it's just like, let's be honest about what it was. That's all I want. Like, let's be honest about what it was. Like, it was not. How could we watch for 2 years of the most crazy, like, unrest and civil, like, just riots and fires and federal buildings being bombed over and over again for days in Seattle, for days straight. I mean, they literally took over a part of the city and made it its own autonomous zone, you know, where people died. People were killed there.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And then I'm watching politicians cry about this day.
yeah.
Nobody had guns.
AOC make up a whole story.
Make
that
up a whole.
didn't-
She
that was
wasn't even.
there
She
was-
wasn't even there.
Yeah, it was a complete lie.
I see Adam Schiff crying about this day. Like,
Yeah,
dude,
Joe
come on.
Biden was just talking about it and said that multiple police officers were killed, which is a complete lie. No police officers were killed.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. What was the story? What was the police?
Sicknick. Brian
Yeah,
Sicknick.
he got hit over the head with a fire.
that was
extinguisher.
fake.
That was. What was that New York Times that
Yeah,
that,
a bunch of people reported
but,
that.
But the thing is, you know, they write a silent retraction.
Stealth edit is called.
Yeah.
Stealth edit. We talked about that last week.
But the damage is done already.
Yeah.
People already think people people that we know.
right.
Oh yeah, he got hit over the head.
that becomes the narrative.
It becomes what it.
I
what
mean, the president said it that multiple police officers were killed, and it's based off of that story.
Right.
You know,
Not true.
it's not true. The only person that died that day was Ashley Babbitt, and she was shot by a police officer for no reason when she was the one trying to help them clear the room, and she was the one trying to stop people from breaking the glass.
That's a problem too. So many people are watching those news medias and
And
they
they
think
just
it's true. They
believe
believe
whatever.
everything.
Not only watching, they're reading New York
Yeah,
Times, they're reading the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, all these
Right.
news outlets, and they're being lied to.
Donnie says, both sides are corrupt, point blank, period. Can't trust no one but God. Not true. Not true. And true, but not true. Because you can't, if we, see, that's where we fall back and we give
Cynicism.
up. And yes, there you go. That's the cynicism of it. Because then we retreat.
Yeah.
Because we think that it's not even worth saving.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's not true.
and then you don't go vote. You know.
Yeah,
They-
or you just don't engage.
You don't
Yeah,
engage.
you don't engage. You don't
don't
go vote.
engage.
You don't care about what's going on in your community.
You don't pray.
My vote don't count anyway.
You don't pray. You
What's
don't
that called?
pray.
Not you become a nihilist.
Yeah,
There are people in this world that you can look at them on the surface and you can think that they got no worth. But then you can go deeper and you can see something and pull something. See, you have to see in a different way. You have to love people. You have to have mercy for them. What did Mom just say? Walk humbly.
Yeah.
That's the first step.
No,
Right?
the first step is,
No, the first step is walk humbly. It's backwards.
it's
Yeah.
backwards. Yeah.
It says it that way because that's the end
Oh,
result.
okay.
The end result is that you act justly.
Yes.
But first you got to love mercy.
Right.
And first you got to walk humbly.
humbly.
See, I got to come humbly. To walk with the Lord, I got to be humble, right? I walk humbly with the Lord. As I walk humbly with the Lord, I learn his mercy. I learn to love his mercy. I learn to love him. I learn to recognize it. Then I can be merciful to others. Then I can act in his justice.
Yes.
Because his justice wants to justify others. Right? And if I'm just looking at things like, yeah, I don't see nothing good there. I don't see nothing good there. Man, I remember something that God spoke to me clearly. He said, if you can see me in everything, and that means in every situation, in every person, in everything that was created, you can reach everyone.
Yeah.
If you can see me, that means if you can relate to me in everything, you can relate to others. But you have to. So when I can't, I got to go back to and humble myself, right? Then I can see where he's merciful in ways I didn't see it before, and then I can act in those ways. But if I give myself over to a critical, where I start to criticize people, overly criticize people, right? Because you can criticize to a point, but when all I'm doing is just breaking people down, there's no solutions there. There's no solutions there. I'm blaming.
Right.
I'm just giving reasons why, right? But Jesus became the solution. He became the reason. That's our thought process. it shifts. That's repentance. Let me stop blaming. Let me stop pointing the finger. Let me stop looking at people as they are irredeemable. I can't say
Irredeemable.
I can't say it. Irredeemable. I start looking at it that way. You become cynical. You become skeptical, then cynical. You know what I mean? And that's a dangerous place to be. It's a dangerous place to be when you're cynical.
Right. Then you become nihilistic.
Yeah.
It's just like all hope is lost.
Yeah. Right. But you know what's crazy is that when we start to love people and are merciful with people, we become dangerous to the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
We become dangerous.
Disruptors.
We become disruptive to what he can do. And how many people can lay down their life? How many people can become a sacrifice as Jesus became a sacrifice? That's not easy to do. I desire mercy and not sacrifice. The sacrifice is mercy, right? That's Romans 12, a living sacrifice. Well, he talks about that, and he starts to say, don't be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Mm-hmm. The process is laying down your life, giving it over to him, right? And as you lay it down, you start to learn how to pick it up in him, right? How to do things, how to love people, how to see people. Like then you start to move in the Holy Spirit.
Right.
Oh, the gift of the spirit of knowledge, right? Spirit of wisdom. Like these things are things that y'all know, these are things that I've recognized in my that I've flowed in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Nobody can tell me because I know, like, I never knew this about this person, never knew this about this person. But yeah, he'll start to show you things, but you gotta see them in a way where you have compassion for them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, what do you but it's not your own compassion, it's his compassion. Mm-hmm. How do you see them, God? What do you want me to do in this situation? I was on the phone with Mom today as I was delivering packages, right? And there was a trash truck in my way, and I was getting annoyed. And then I'm like, I checked myself because that's something that, like, even with little stuff like that, you can complain about it, but nothing changes, right? Mm-hmm. And then in that moment, I'm like, I bless them. Mm-hmm. I bless them in Jesus' name because I know I started to feel annoyed. Mm-hmm. Bless them. And the funny part is, the moment I said that, they moved out the way, and then I waved. I waved to the dude. He waved back. The whole demeanor changed. The whole attitude changed. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and you just seen it's just crazy, like little stuff like that. But it's our mindset. It's our attitude. I could be like, man, I'm trying to deliver these packages. They're in my way. Like,
and I was telling Jake that I went to the post office, right? Because I had a package that was already, I paid, the postage was paid and everything, but the line was very long. So I started getting an attitude, and guess what? I had a shirt on, a top on that said faith. Wait a minute. So I'm standing there and I'm starting getting like a little attitude because I'm like, all I got to do is drop the package. I don't have to do anything else. And the Lord, I'm not lying. The Lord said, and look at you with the faith shirt on, and you're acting like that with that attitude. And I was like, wow, right there, it hit me. And my whole attitude changed. And then when I got up to the front, I said to the guy, man, I could have just dropped this off. He said, no, because I'm going to give you a receipt. And you wouldn't have gotten the receipt. So I was like, oh, okay. And then he was all alone anyway, working. Yeah. But it was like the Lord checked me right there. I was like, oh, embarrassing, Lord. I got a faith shirt on.
All right, let's keep going. I got this. I got this tweet from Gays Against Groomers, actually, which they were banned for a little while. If you don't remember that, because of their stance, you remember you couldn't say groomer on Twitter for a while. So remember that bill we talked about in California a while ago that they were trying to get passed. I forget what bill it was.
Yeah, it was like some number.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
But it had to do with minors consenting, or like something about
the gap was like 10 years,
gap,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have this other bill, and they just tweeted about it. It says California legislature passes a bill reducing penalties for oral, anal, sex with willing children.
Willing children.
So their
They
tweet
passed a bill?
Yeah, California legislation, and this was Scott Wiener was behind this bill. I don't know if he's related to Anthony Weiner, but I know there's the Wieners don't have a good track record here. And judging from his picture, you know, he's a California state senator, chair, housing committee, former chair, legislative LGBTQ caucus, housing. He's got flags in his bio and a Star of David.
Horrible.
But yeah, and
Jewish
Gays
gay.
Against Groomer said, of course, Scott Wiener's behind this. There's no such thing as willing children.
No, there isn't.
We've said so many times how children being able to consent to permanently altering their bodies could lead to them being able to consent to anything. And people have made that argument. Like if you can say a child can consent to have their sexual organs change, why can't they consent to other things?
But think about this. Why is it always the children?
Yeah.
Because the enemy starts with the children. And then what happens in the future? You know, they're no good for nothing unless there's, I mean, there's always hope, I'm saying. But I'm saying only God can change that. But the thing is, that's where we come in.
Yeah. To put as many triggers in them as possible.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, these things come out in later times. Like sometimes things can be dormant, and then all it takes is the right trigger to come out at the right time. And that's the way the devil works. He wants to cause all these traumas in your life, because a trauma is when you're not able mentally to deal with something.
Yeah.
You don't have the capacity to deal with it. If you're gonna put somebody in a situation that they're not mentally able to deal with, that's gonna cause them trauma. That's abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank. Period.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because Gays Against Groomers, they kind of popped up and started to organize because they are noticing a push from their own community to indoctrinate kids for some reason.
Yeah.
Trying to normalize it.
Yeah, but it's like coming from the LGBTQ community, which
Yeah.
is weird. Like, why are y'all so trying to keep pushing these ideas for kids? Like we saw with who was the guy, Joel Roth, or was that his name? Who used to be the head
the
of Twitter safety board? Yoel. But all his dissertation about children sex apps. You know what I mean?
Well, it's the same reason why they keep adding letters to it.
Yeah.
It never ends.
Right.
It's the depravity of the mind just continues. How low can you go?
Yeah.
Can you go down low? I'm sorry.
This guy went to the cha-cha slide. All right, so speaking of that, I saw this and I thought of this is another inversion. So I've been seeing this guy all over social media, and when you listen to, I don't know, something about like the messaging that he always throws out there, it's such an enticement to young people.
So you're going no contact. You're considering going no contact. You're 25% of the way toward an open door on the subject of no contact. And you're feeling guilty. So one of the things I needed to get over, I'm no contact with my family. All of them. Siblings, parents, extended.
They always have to come up with a term for something.
Yeah, because I was like,
I was like,
they
what is he
always
talking
have to
about?
come up with some kind of term to attach to it, so that you can then name it and claim it.
Yeah.
It's the
I
inversion.
was thinking something nasty. I don't know where it was going, but
no contact nasty.
Yeah, at first I thought it was like
You thought,
celibacy.
no.
Dude, but
Family.
the way he's acting, that's all
Yeah,
learned,
just-
dude.
Dude.
Like you're acting like a woman. You learned that.
A caricature of a woman.
Yeah.
Women
Like a
don't act
cartoon.
Yeah.
Women do not act like that.
But yeah, I just listen to this concept of no contact with your family.
Cousins, everybody. And the thing I wanted to point out to you today in this video about going no contact is I didn't consider my own feelings. As painful as it is, the pain of being a person who goes no contact is nothing compared to the daily pain you've been in from being in relationship with these folks. I love you. Have a good time going no contact.
Dude, tell me you don't see how evil that is.
I know. I just
Look,
said
pull that up.
that looks so evil.
Pull that up.
Oh my!
Look at that. It's demonic.
It's the Joker.
He's trying to tell you to have no contact.
But
so that
who are the most vulnerable?
the
especially
children,
amongst
young,
children.
The,
No. The ones who you can separate from their families.
Yeah.
Those are the ones who always get groomed. Those are the ones who end up in all the bad situations. If you
Yeah.
can separate them, cut them off from the people that love them the most, that care about them the most, they become the most easy to be victimized.
Yeah. All the Antifa people.
Yeah.
With sex trafficking.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
thing. How did they lure?
lure.
Why can't I say
Most people that are
sometimes?
sex trafficked
Lure.
are runaways.
Yeah, or they have broken families.
Right. Most people in porn, most people doing OnlyFans, most
Yeah.
people in all of these sex worker industries are usually from broken families or runaways. So when I saw this, I'm like, this is literally the enemy luring, and all of this person's content is like this, like very enticing, very much like making you okay with doing these, with separating yourself, going down this path. You know what I mean? And to me, it was like, yo, God, it's the inversion of God. Like God has told us to honor our families, to be a community, to be a family, to look out for one another, to care for one another. This is like separate yourself.
Yeah. No contact.
Separate yourself from everyone, because the pain that they're gonna cause you is worse than anything else that you could feel. Like
The pain of
Than the pain
separation.
than dealing with them or whatever
Yeah.
he said.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna call you a dude.
Right. And then when you open up that rabbit hole, you know, you start to end up in places that make no sense whatsoever.
If we actually grappled with the fact that sex negativity is what causes this type of behavior, then we could
Is she on 3
create
chairs?
a world where in a
She's
sex,
she's on the couch.
idyllically sex positive world,
I
someone
thought
is
that
able
was
to
3
pay
chairs.
conscious women to come and be drugged so that I can get my kink out, my fetish on having sex with unconscious people. Sex
You-
positive
What?
Let me
world.
just play that again.
Someone is
Play it
able-
again.
sex
What?
idyllically sex positive world, someone is able to pay conscious women to come and be drugged so that I can get my kink out, my fetish on having sex with unconscious people. There's a consensual.
So you want to have sex with you want to drug women.
Yeah.
You're
But
a woman.
You want
You
them
want to drug women and have sex with women that are unconscious.
That sounds sick, sad.
I mean, when you start opening that Pandora's box and you start saying that anything goes, when you start talking about sex positivity, when you start talking about kink shaming, when you start talking about all of these terms, this is what there's no end in sight.
Isn't that rape, bro?
Well, she's claiming that once we get to a point where we can be so sex positive that you can get a woman to consent to sign up to be drugged, to then be unconscious, to
Okay.
then, you know what I'm saying? Like this is what
Wow.
So she's trying to claim that the only reason why we can't do that is because of the stigma against sex positivity.
Wow. Okay.
But where does this all start? As soon as you start opening up that about stigma against sexual positivity, stigma against,
Sexual preference.
yeah, like, and the thing is, like 10 years ago, if someone brought this up as a scenario, like, where is this going to lead to? People wanting to consent to getting drugged, to get raped by someone who doesn't know that. Oh, everyone would have been like, "Yo, shut up! What are you talking about?" No one would ever say something crazy like that.
How demonic is necrophilia?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're talking about something totally
Well,
different.
that's having sex with the dead. I mean, that
Yeah.
is so. Ooh, God Almighty, that is crazy.
Yeah,
That's totally sick, demonic.
yeah.
How do you have hope for those people? Seriously, like, I mean, you have to have hope for them, but that's just like,
Nasty.
Easy.
no, I know, but you think about it, and you're like, what the heck?
Because what gets them there? It's what gets them there. How did they get there? You know,
Something sick happened to them.
or it could be generational.
Yeah.
Or it could be that we've let our guard down so much that we have allowed all of this in.
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody given them something of true value or worth? Has anybody preached the gospel to them? The good news. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know. I mean, and when I say that, I don't just mean that in a religious way. I mean that, like, in power.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I don't know. At least giving them the opportunity to hear it.
And
People go. How many people grow up in situations that are, or environments that cultivate these type of things? People grow up in environments that cultivate that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they grow up in a society that's cultivating it right now.
yeah, but at the core, they're still human beings, and there's still something in their depths that they might be crying out for.
Yeah.
So you have to have hope.
Hope,
And if you don't have hope, then you need to go to God so you can get hope. Our hope is in Him. It's not in ourselves. And you're right. You don't see it. If you don't see it, then we need God.
Yeah.
You know.
And I heard when you were talking, I heard 2 Chronicles 7:14. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven, heal their sin and forgive them and heal their land. But that's the major key. We got to pray too. You know what I mean? Of course, God, we have to seek Him but we do have to pray. That's important.
Wasn't prayer seeking Him?
Yeah.
You know, like prayer is one thing, but action is a whole nother thing. When we pray, when the people pray, God sends a prophet. God anoints somebody.
Yeah.
So the anointing, like the one who is able to do it, He's going to send somebody who is able. You have to be, somebody's got to be able to believe and hope.
Right.
And have mercy.
Right.
That's the one He sends. So it's not just, I'm not saying prayer is important, but I'm just saying that that's only part of it.
Right.
The other part is action, but you can't get to that if you don't first seek Him, right? You can pray for people and you can cover people, but they have to, what does Romans 10 say? Nobody's going to receive and believe if they don't hear.
Mm-hmm.
And how are you going to hear if nobody preaches?
Right.
And how is anybody gonna? And if nobody's sent, nobody's gonna preach.
Nobody's gonna preach. Yeah.
So we have to be sent. You know, that's why He sends people. That's why He anoints us. We all have a part. We don't have to be evangelists or,
Yeah, but that scripture says, if my people, I'm talking about his people, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face, of course, seek my face. But that's important because why is he saying that? We need to pray too. We need to pray. We need to pray for this nation. We need to pray for the people, the children. It's just important.
Yeah. And then he does it. He does the work.
Right.
But he does it through people.
Right.
You know, that's what we got. Like, he does it through people. And he can use anybody. So we think people are too far gone. But they're not. That's what...
It could turn around in a second. That's what people don't realize.
You can Nancy Pelosi?
It could.
Yeah, it can.
It could, man. Like, no one is irredeemable.
No.
No.
If the thief on the cross got saved that same day, anybody can.
Yeah. He didn't do anything. He didn't repent.
Right. He didn't do nothing.
Well, he did repent. He just turned to God.
Right.
Yeah.
He just believed that he was able.
He didn't get water baptized. He didn't.
No.
He didn't say the sinner's prayer. He didn't do any of that
Keep
stuff.
the Sabbath.
Right.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna play one more video. We're not gonna get to that all that stuff you gotta do because it's already.
Yeah, we never get to my stuff.
Well, because we was doing, there was a lot of stuff, a lot of talking.
Yeah.
I only had like 5 clips. I only had like 5
talk,
videos. All right, I'm gonna play one more thing just because it's on a little bit of a lighter note. That last video got a little dark, so this one was a little bit funny. I saw this on Twitter. So this person is gonna show us how their dog is a veterinarian, and they don't force it to be. I mean, veterinarian. Their dog is.
I was like, dang, that dog's smart.
Their dog is a vegetarian, and they don't force it to be.
So some of you just don't believe that my dog's a vegetarian, so I have this set up right now for you guys to see. We have this really gross, it's like a beef, like dog food, and then I have this delicious green salad. So I'm gonna bring her out and we're gonna see which one she likes. Also, my dog is very healthy.
First of all, why does she have the look of a vegetarian dog owner? Like, don't they have a look?
Yeah.
What is?
Why does she got to be Asian?
Are you offended by this?
I don't think Asian has anything to do with this. To be honest with you, like,
Yeah.
I think more of American.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
definitely.
She's definitely
She's
American.
definitely Americanized.
Left American.
Because let's face it, certain parts of Asia, she wouldn't have a dog as a pet.
Mm-hmm.
It would be on that plate.
She loves greens, she loves her salad, and I don't force her to eat her salad, but she likes.
She ain't going for that salad.
Okay, so this is Bonnie. She is my
Look, rainbow collar.
ain't going for that salad.
You notice the rainbow
Little-
collar?
vegetarian, okay? No, no, eat that salad.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
You eat the salad?
No. Let me go back to the
You
music.
pick one. No, Bonnie, no.
Pick one.
I don't force it. Look, I don't force my dog at all, and I'm gonna prove it to you. So this dog, hey, you can tell this dog hates her. Yo.
Wait, is she trolling though?
I don't know,
Because
Dude, like,
why would she put it up?
You're right.
You get what I'm
The
saying?
fact that she posted it afterwards
Yeah.
makes me think that she's either trolling or she's doing it on purpose. Like she did it on purpose.
Yeah.
But
That's
I thought it was funny.
that's where it's like.
But I don't know because the hairstyle, she got the rainbow bracelet. The dog has the
Okay, so
she
she
just
could probably just be, you know.
or somebody posted it. She showed it to somebody or sent
she
it to
sent it to one of her
somebody.
friends. Could have been
Maybe.
because she did grab that phone as soon as the dog wasn't listening. Like,
This is Bonnie. She is my
look,
little...
that dog hates her, yo. That
get
dog was
off
like,
me.
"Get off me, yo!"
Unless she did it live.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is Bonnie. She is my
Look. The dog is pulling away from her like, "Yo."
vegetarian, okay? Now, no.
Smells the
No,
food.
eat that salad. Look, salad.
No, you're a vegetarian.
You want to eat the salad? Here, pick one.
Pick one.
No.
See how she grabbed that phone?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought
funny.
that was funny. I thought
That
that
is
was funny.
great.
Bonnie was not trying to mess with no salad.
I mess with you, Bonnie.
Bonnie, I'm with you. That's rabbit food.
That was funny.
You ever see the vegan cat hashtag?
No.
Never seen that? Vegan cats?
Vegan cats.
Nope. See if I can pull up real quick just so y'all can see.
It's ridiculous.
It's a rabbit hole.
It's just ridiculous. That's what.
Because people really force their cats to be vegan. Let me see. Oh,
Never heard of it.
What are you doing?
I'm just trying to hold it out, you know.
Huh?
Make it through.
Oh.
Gotta pee.
Oh, you gotta pee?
I was gonna say you gotta pee, right? Oh, gosh.
All right, well, let's wrap it up then. I mean, basically, if you put in hashtag vegan cats on Instagram or on Twitter, you will see some of the most emaciated animals you've ever seen in your lives, because cats are not meant to eat vegetables. But we're going to wrap it up so Jake can go pee. Appreciate you guys for watching. Don't forget to sign up. Go ahead, Jake. I'll wrap it up. Don't forget to sign up on our Patreon, guys, if you want to become a member. We need your support. Support what we're doing. Support God's kingdom. Support the community that we're building. Mom, you can pull up the Patreon for me, please?
Okay, sorry.
It's okay. Make sure you guys sign up to become a member on there. There's plenty of tiers on there. And hey, maybe all these videos that Jake has to break down, we could do those on Patreon.
Yeah.
And give people, extra content there.
Some deep stuff.
Deeper dives. But yeah. Also, don't forget, new single coming out, release April 7th. Make sure you guys are pre-ordering that and also be prepared for it. And merch is available on the Young Lion store, and that all that link is in the description on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, all that stuff. And make sure you guys hit that like button on your way out. Shout out to all the Young Lions in the chat for all of your comments and chiming in, and the Patreon members. We appreciate you guys. We love you. Shout out to y'all for being here, and we will see you guys next week.
Peace.
Young lion, go live, yeah. Young lion, you rich, yeah. This kingdom has room, yeah. Go